Yeah, let's get this going. Mike,
Yeah.
we're live.
We're live. Okay. Tell me when it's
It's
going. Is it going?
yep.
Test the mic.
It oh
All right. Cool. Oi oi! Welcome to the Derp channel. We are your hosts. I am Ski Nerd. Over there is Derp, and we are here to review a movie that I've never seen before. He's seen it before. It's called Logan Lucky.
I saw it back when it came out 8 years ago.
Cool. And there's a lot of celebrities in here. Like, I mean, I shouldn't say celebrities. I should say like actors, because these are really good actors in here. We got Channing Tatum, Adam Driver, Daniel Craig. We got Hilary Swank even. Uh,
Katie Holmes.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know
Uh,
who the women are, but
she she's who
oh,
marries Tom Cruise. Married Tom Cruise.
oh,
But
that's
that's
so that's why she's famous.
Channing Tatum's ex-wife in the movie.
All right, cool. That's why she's famous, because she married Tom Cruise. Also,
Jack Quaid, Seth MacFarlane,
Sebastian Stan. There's a lot. There's a lot of hidden gems in this movie.
and even a bunch of NASCAR people too.
Jeff Gordon.
Jeff Gordon, Daryl Waltrip, Mike Joy, Adam Alexander.
Yeah, who cares about those people? Jeff Gordon. The one person, if you play any of the old NASCAR games, don't play it like a regular race, because that's stupid. What you have to do is go backwards on the track and try to hit Jeff Gordon, causing massive damage. And it is extremely hard to do, but if you can do it, it's so satisfying and hilarious, and most importantly, fun. Anyways, so this movie starts off with he's an ex coal miner named Jim Logan, played by Channing Tatum, and he's working a construction job under one of the NASCAR raceways. What is that raceway? It is the site. I don't remember the site. I don't know if they said it. They probably did it. Uh, it's the they're sorry, the Shant Motor Speedway.
Charlotte.
Charlotte.
Yep.
Oh, there it is. Charlotte Motor Speedway, and he's doing construction, and he gets fired by Jerry from not Community, Parks and Recreation. Jerry, Barry, Larry, whatever. Um, so he gets fired, and he's like, "Crap, I need to have money." And we learned that he got divorced. He has a daughter. She's with a new guy, Roy.
Not the daughter.
What?
His ex, not the daughter.
Yeah, divorced. Yeah, divorced
Because
from his wife.
the way you sectioned it off, it made it seem like the daughter was with Roy.
No.
That just your wording.
Yeah, whatever. I don't care. He has a daughter. Um, Roy from The Office is her stepdad, and so that's another person. There's like a billion people in this movie that is so underrated. Anyways, so he she's like selling something, and he gets all pissed off, and he's like, "No, I can't have that. I need to get a lawyer."
Selling the house.
Selling the house. Okay.
Yep. Because they're
Um,
moving to a different state.
yeah, sure. And he gets all pissed. He's like, "Shit, I need to make money," and uh, and then he says like a certain word to Adam Driver, who was a bartender with one hand. I think he lost his left hand, and
He's a
he
vet, so
says,
he lost it in war.
"Yep," and he's like, "Cauliflower." And he's like, "Whoa, whoa, what are you saying? Last time you said it to me,
I ended up in juvie.
Yeah. She's like, "Yep, we gotta steal something. I need money. I just lost my job." And then they're at the bar and they're talking about whatever. And this guy comes in, Seth MacFarlane, and he immediately starts to insult Adam Driver. Um, and we also learned that Adam Driver and Channing Tatum are brothers. Um, yeah, they can hear that. Thank you. I suggest to open that all the way because that's always going to be loud. Tearing that open. What flavor is this?
I believe lime
Lime.
or apple.
Oh, apple. Oh.
To me, whenever I see green, I always think it's lime. But
Okay. All right. All right. Sorry, editor. Or lie people. Anyways, this douchebag comes in. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm a billionaire. Blah blah blah. Look at me. They shouldn't be suing me. I have so much money and I make business." Um, this guy is Seth MacFarlane. He's just being a jackass, and he makes fun of Adam Driver for having an arm.
and being
And
a bartender with one arm.
yep, and then he makes fun of Channing Tatum for having no leg. One of his leg is his limp, and he gets his ass beat. Channing Tatum by these three guys because they start something, and then Adam Driver just casually walks out and throws a bottle at his car and it's set on fire. So you know these guys mean business, and they're like, "All right, fuck this guy. We're gonna go into prison because there's this guy who can crack into vaults." And played by Daniel Craig. And Daniel Craig is in jail. He's like, "I have 5 months before I get out. I'm not gonna do anything too risky." They're like, "Okay." And then they recruit two other guys.
Daniel Craig's character's brothers.
Oh, those are his brothers. Oh, so we got Jack
That's
Quaid.
that's why they recruited them because he told them to.
Got it. Jack Quaid and another guy.
Brian Gleason.
And these guys are kind of slow. They're not the smartest, but they know how to get things done stealing wise. They and they're like, "Oh, I don't know if we should. There's got to be a good reason for it because we just found Jesus," kind of thing, you know. And that was pretty great. And let's see what happens next. Uh, so they recruit them, and then their plan is to rob the Motor Speedway.
Charlotte.
Sorry, Charlotte Motor Speedway. And Shane James like, "Yeah, I got this great plan. It's gonna be great." And he has this like model thing, and he's showing his brother like how we're gonna do it because he was doing construction work underneath the speedway. He knows that their security is down, and there is a money room which have what do they call it? PTT, which are basically money pipes. Every
Transfer tubes.
Yep, like if you go to the bank, they have the transfer tube things. These are for the cashiers from all the um, concession stands in the stadium, and so it's just an easier way to dump the money there. And their plan is to basically sabotage that and steal the money from that. So, uh, Jack Quaid recruited, and then um, the next step of the plan is Adam Driver needs to go back to prison. So what does he do? Do you remember what he does to get back into prison?
Very casually drives his car through a convenience store window,
Yep.
and goes out of it to buy some chips.
Isn't that wonderful and glorious? So he's in jail now, and then Channing Tatum, uh, some woman walks by him. This is like a side thing. It's his love interest, I guess. Some woman walks by him and she mentions like, "Oh, you got beat on your face with his fight with Seth MacFarlane." She mentions, "Oh, come get a tetanus shot," and they're immediately going to be falling in love because they're like flirting and shit. But that's like a side thing. It's not really important. Um, and her name is Sylvia. Uh, and then Channing Tatum goes to see his former boss, and he learns that the construction is ahead of schedule. So now they have to move up their heist by a week, and they're you know they're not really ready for that, but they're ready. Because they have to be, and that week just happens to be a big week of this giant NASCAR event, which they didn't want to do it during that because that has increased security, and they don't
The
want that.
Coca Cola 600.
Yep. 600 miles. Wow. Was I love watching
400 laps.
I love watching cars um, go in circles for 4 hours.
400 laps.
Yeah. That's pretty fun. Okay.
I'd be bored after the first lap.
Yep. Anyways, and so the next part of the plan is they find a woman who works in the like by the vault basically. Um, Her name is Glima, and she is delivered a cake, and they all gleefully in the vault, I should say, eat some of the cake, and they're all like, "Ooh, maybe you have a secret admirer! Oh my God!" They're eating the cake, and some security guards come out and they're like, "Hey, something happened, and someone sideswiped her car." And so she was out and she couldn't finish her cake, so they left the cake in the vault. Um, then the next part of the plan is Channing Tatum's sister, Melly. Melly. She is for what I couldn't figure it out at the time why she was doing this, but she was painting different colors on cockroaches, and so their plan with the cockroaches is put them in the tubes to see which one is connected to where the money is, and that's what the cake is for. So in the morning, um, they have they have a weird thing where the cockroaches are all over this cake, and they all freak out, and the two brothers, Jack Quaid and the other guy, go into spray the place down, and they can see what color is in there, and it's pink, so they get a code pink, and so now they know what tube the money is in. Cool. That's the next part of the plan. All right. And then we get Daniel Craig doing a puke plan. So while the warden is touring the cafeteria, before he eats lunch, he drinks a shit ton of water and then eats the food and pukes in front of said warden. So he gets sent to the infirmary, and the guy's like, "Hey, I don't want to pee." Oh, I know that guy.
Yeah.
I want to pee in the bathroom. Can I do that? And the nurse is like, "No, you can't." But luckily, Adam Driver, who is the janitor for whatever reason, the one-armed man is the janitor. He's like, "Oh, I can take them, no problem." And from there, they are able to escape. And as they're escaping, um, there is a riot that gets started in the prison, and that shuts down everything. So now the nurse can't can't get to the people in the bathroom. So they're Adam Driver and Channing Tatum are able to escape.
Daniel Craig.
Oh, what did I say?
Channing
Oh,
Tatum.
sorry. Uh,
I was gonna say since when was Channing Tatum in the prison?
no, no. So Adam Driver and Daniel Craig escape from the prison, and they're able to help out with the heist at um, the raceway because Melly drives them there in a Mustang, and there's virtually no cops in the area, so she can drive as fast as she wants. Um, so they get there, continue the plan, and the
A
two
correction,
brothers.
there was two cops that got pulled over an old lady.
Yeah, well, I know, but I decided to skip over that.
That was
Um,
funny. That's why.
yeah, no, it was because they're focused on this old lady who is out of control apparently, and they see the Mustang drive by, and one of the cops is like, "Hey, what's look at that?" And he's like, "No, we have to focus on this old lady." Um, anyways, then the two brothers, Jack Quaid and the other guy, they take this bomb, throw it into this electronic place just outside of the raceway, and all the electronics shut down. So this is vital to their plan
They
because now,
almost don't run away from the bomb either.
yeah, they almost get blown up themselves, but they're able to pull it off, and uh, this is very vital to their plan as um, this shuts down anything electronic going through, so it forces people to use cash. And now, instead of more electronic um, transactions going through, if people are using cash, they can they can use this and suck out cash, which is great for them. Um, let's see what happened next. Oh, and then we see that Seth MacFarlane, the guy at the bar, uh, is the owner of one of the cars, and his driver is Bucky, aka the Winter Soldier, from the Marvel movies, from the Avengers and stuff. And he's a driver, and he had this like weird little side piece thing where he's like, I am an operating system, and my software is food, and I need to be able to move my body and stuff. It was just like a weird kind of thing, um, but it makes sense for him. He's a race car driver. Anyways, um, so Bucky's a driver. Yep. And then we get a really funny scene with the warden saying like, "Yes, I know you rioted, and I will give in to some of your demands." And their demands are basically, we want the Game of Thrones books, and they get some of them, but then the warden is just like, "Hey, I can't do this book and this book because they're not out." And they're like, and one of the guys goes up to the speaker and he's like, "That's bullshit. J.R.R. Tolkien was supposed to release
George
it.
R. R. Martin.
George, oh god, George R.R. Martin was supposed to release it 2 years ago. That's bullshit." And the guy's like, I can't." The warden's like, I can't do what's not there." And what did you say when we were watching this?
It's still relevant 8 years later.
Yes. Basically it's been 10 years since George R. R. Martin.
Came out with a book, a mainline book of the
I don't know. I
Song
don't
of
remember.
Ice and Fire.
Was that what it was?
Yeah,
The Song of Breath and Fire.
Ice and Fire.
The Song of Ice and Fire.
That's the name of the Game of Thrones, like the books, the Game of Thrones books.
Okay. And I guess we're still waiting today. So maybe we'll get a sequel to Logan Lucky 2 when that comes out.
No, if we get a sequel, they'll probably still be bitching about it.
Yeah, they probably will. It's been 10 years. They get the same like black guy actor, and he's just like, it's like, this is bullshit. He like walks into a library. This is bullshit. I want that book. He's like, we can't control that, sir. Um. All right.
Because yeah, he's no longer in prison at the end of the movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, spoiler alert.
He isn't that relevant.
No, he's not. But he was vital to their plan.
Yep.
Without him, they wouldn't be able to pull anything off. And then Daniel Craig, he has a cool uh, plan. He buys some gummy bears, and then he goes downstairs and he requested chlorine pens or whatever. Uh, I think that's what it
Like
was.
bleach pens is
Oh,
what he called it,
bleach pens. And
and
so he
gummy
put
bears.
yep. So he mixes the gummy bears and the bleach, squirts the bleach pens in there, and wraps it up. He's like, "This is the bomb," and they're looking at like, "Your bomb is gummy bears?" And he's like, "Yes, this is science." And he writes down like the equation on the wall,
Two gases, one liquid, or one solid.
and he was just like, "This is the science behind this, and this will work." And so he puts the bomb in there, twists it up, puts it in there, and it's gonna go off, but it doesn't. There's just an error, so it spits it back out. And he opens it back up very carefully, and then he's like, "Oh, I see the problem." He pulls out the bag. I twisted it too tight, so he loosens up a little bit, and puts it back in, and now the bomb goes off. So now there's smoke coming out of some of the pipes, and this uh, brings security downstairs. But now because that uh, it exploded, that tube is open, and now they can put a vacuum, like a whole hook up a pipe to it, vacuum, and suck out all the money that's in there. And that's basically what they do. So they put this money in trash bags, and they're trying to send it out, and these security guards are running around questioning people. Hey, what are you doing? They see the two brothers, uh, the Jack Quaid and the other guy, um, driving around on a I gotta do this more. Driving around on their trash truck, and they're like, "Did you guys smell smoke?" And they're like, "No, what are you talking about?" Then I see Channing Tatum running around, and he's like, "They're like, do you smell smoke?" He's like, "No, just racing fumes." And then they find like a place where smoke is coming out, and some like random dude that was in the bar, he's just like smoking. He's like, "Yeah, I'm on my smoke break. I like to smoke in here. It's like 3/4 of a mile to get outside, so I just do it in here." And they're like, "Sir, you need to put that out." He's like, "No, I got 5 minutes left on my 20-minute break. I'm gonna smoke." "You need to put that out, sir." "Nope." Anyways, that was fun. Oh, Camelot. All right. Um. Oh, and there's a scene like when they're sucking out the money. Adam Driver's like fake hand goes into the vacuum, and they all get in this huge argument. And I'm thinking to myself, like, dude, they're arguing, great. Now they're now something is gonna go wrong, but Channing Tatum was able to calm him down, and they're able to continue what they're doing. There is also a delay where the two guys on the trash cart run into a gate and it's not working. So Daniel Craig has to go and he has to try to fix it, and then Channing Tatum is just like, what the fuck is taking so long?" So he runs up to them. He's like, "Oh, the chain's off the thing. You gotta put the chain on and then it'll work," kind of thing. So now they're able to get through, take the money outside, and put on a truck, and it's like, sweet, they got the money. This is great. The plan is working. The plan is working. Um, and at that same time, the inmates take take metal trays and tinfoil, and put it on the window so the warden can't see in now. They also smear peanut butter, which is important, on the cameras so they can't see through the cameras. And then they started like a small fire. And this was very ingenious how they started a fire. So what they did was break a pencil in half, take the graphite out of the two parts of the pencil, put it on a. They wrapped half of it in, I think, like a paper towel, put it in an electric slot. It starts on fire, and they put it in a basket, which is really ingenious, by the way. Put it, hold it up, put the alarm on fire, and now the warden is just like, "Shit, now I have to call this in. God damn it, it's a fire." So they call in the fire, and meanwhile, you have Adam Driver and Daniel Craig, who are now done with the raceway. They're back. Um, they go to they're outside the fire department, and they are dressed in uh, fireman's clothing, so they're able to sneak onto the fire trucks, which are going to the prison. And so this is their way to get back into the prison, which is pretty sweet. Um, they make it back in just in time, um, to right before they undo the doors, um, and everything gets back to normal. And so nobody's suspicious of anything. So they basically have pulled off this heist. They get the money. Everybody escapes. Nobody knows what's going on until like a couple days later, and then the FBI gets involved. So usually at this point of a movie, the it's done. They pulled it off. Everybody gets money. Everybody's gonna be happy. And the FBI comes in. They ask a couple questions, and then like they can't figure it out, so they just go home. But in this movie, they spend a good like half an hour on the last part of it, just having the FBI investigating this weird phenomenon of smoke coming out of the vault and mm, excuse me, smoke coming out of the vault and nobody knowing anything. And after 6 months of investigating, they can't find anything. Um, and now Adam Driver is released, Daniel Craig is released, and that the black guy from the prison is released, which is great. They all get out. Um, but the weird thing about the end of that heist was Channing Tatum called in the truck with the money in it, returning the money, and um, it was just a weird thing. And you're thinking the whole time, why are they doing this? Right?
Mm-hmm.
It made no sense that they were returning the money. Like, and they called themselves, or the people were calling them the Ocean 7-Eleven. I agree. Ocean 7-Eleven. Let's go. Let's go. Uh, and then after the FBI investigates the warden, they're like, "Don't you find it weird that these two people were seen?" Oh, right. Seth MacFarlane, his character, sees them in the tunnel, and so he's just like, "Yeah, I know who did it. It's these other guys. It's these guys that I fought at the bar. They're the thieves, and they had like no reason." They're like, "Well, they were acting suspicious." They're like, "Well, we talked with your driver. They like him and the driver got into a huge argument." Um, and the driver's like, "I didn't see anything. I wasn't even there." I'm like, bruh, whatever. Um, so they were able to get away from that, which is nice, which was lucky for them. Hence the name Logan Lucky. Um, and so after the FBI uh, questions the warden goes to Daniel Craig, and they're like, "Oh, are you? What's going on here?" And they basically bully him and put him in isolation, the solitary confinement, for the rest of his sentence until he's done, basically, because they made him look bad, I guess, and they're even though there was nothing there. But anyways, uh, then we get like a scene. It's like 6 months later, and Daniel Craig is in a house. He's done with everything. He's like, "Ah, oh, this is great," and he gets a couple. He hears a weird sound outside, and he sees a shovel, and he's like, "Oh, this shovel's weird. Oh shit, I should unbury uh, something under an oak tree and a swing." He starts digging, and there's money there, and then it shifts back to what really happened in the heist, and the Melly did more than we thought. She was on the ground in disguise, like walking around, and they didn't just have one set of trash bags; they had another set of trash bags that went into actual garbage bins, and then they did all the math and be like, and was like, okay, where did they dump this garbage? And they go to the place where the garbage is. They dig it up, and they're like, oh look, money, and because he gave some of the money back, a lot of the heat was turned down. So he was able to get away with actually taking all this money, and he was like giving it to people. He gave it to what was her name? Glima, the woman they wrecked her car for part of the heist. They gave some. He gave some to Sylvia, who is now his girlfriend. They gave some to the black guy, and they gave some to like everyone basically. And at the end of the movie, they're all in the bar. They're like celebrating. They're like, "Oh, the life is great. It's so much fun." And at the very end, Adam Driver is giving. Uh, uh, fills the glass of a woman, and she's just like, "Oh yeah, I like this. Yeah, here, have a drink on me." And he's like, "Oh, all right, this is cool." And it's the FBI lady, played by I forgot to say, played by Hilary Swank, is the FBI lady, and she is doing an investigation into these people because she's still, even though nothing happened, she's still suspicious. So it leads to like what is going to happen. I hope they eventually have like a side movie of just her because she was really good as the FBI agent and like what she has seen uh,
Nothing
there.
yet.
But yeah, well, it's been 8 years, so I doubt they'll do anything. But I think they should do something with it. So um, yeah, but that was that movie. Sorry for how long was that? 30 minutes. Okay, a little longer than I would hoped, but it was a very more complicated than I thought it was. There's a lot more star power in this movie than you think. You know, you have the younger version of Jack Quaid. Before was this before he did The Boys, or like at the beginning of The Boys? When did The Boys come out? Season one.
2019, so it's
2019.
2 years before.
Oh, this is pre The Boys, so that's why you didn't recognize him when you first saw him because this is before The Boys.
Also, I recognize him in anything before the boys too. Like he was
Yeah,
in.
but I pointed. I when we were watching, I pointed out to you. I was like,
That
"Oh shit,
that
that's Huey." You're like,
that's
"What?"
because he doesn't. He didn't have his usual hairstyle.
Yeah, yeah. He was
Redneck.
the redneck guy with the mullet, and yeah,
Because
it took me a
Huey,
while. Like even with Seth MacFarlane, I was like, I kept looking. I was like, who's is that?
because
I recognize him.
Jack Quaid usually has kind of like a hairstyle like mine in most movies,
Yeah. Um,
like
which
curly
which
and
makes sense. See what was he in? He was in
Scream, Hunger Games.
oh, he's on Hunger Games?
Yep.
Oh, a cameo?
No, that was the second Hunger Games where he's a cameo. He was in the first one
Oh,
as one of
that's
the.
Marvel.
Yep.
Who the hell's Marvel?
One of the.
One of the tribute guys?
Yep. One of the. There's the districts 1 and 2 that volunteer.
Yeah.
He was one of those.
He was a player?
Yeah, that like careers. That's what they called them.
Yeah.
He was one of the careers where
But
they
how was he in the second one?
trained
How was
just
he in the second one?
just like as a flashback.
Oh, okay, okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Well, now I gotta watch the Hunger Games again and look for him.
He's the guy that kills Rue, the little
Oh, is
black
he?
girl. Yeah.
Oh, you son of a bitch! Fuck you.
He's
Okay.
also on Rampage apparently.
He kills Rue. What an asshole.
The
Jack Quaid, you son of a bitch.
he has a bunch of movies coming out this year. He already had Companion, Novocaine, and then Neighborhood Watch, which comes out this weekend.
If you guys are still watching, thanks. We're done. We're like done with the review, and we're just like rambling on about random stuff. So if you guys liked it and you're still here, thank you. Leave a like if you want. Subscribe if you want. We always have new content, reviewing movies and games, even a podcast. And thanks for watching.
Anime.
And yeah, so we can end it there, but we can still like ramble on. This will be more like an after show thing. Yeah, but we were talking about Jack Quaid. We got into a random thing. He killed Rue. Like son of a bitch.
I ended
Now I have to watch that.
I ended the recording, but the stream's still going.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Can you pull it up really quick, like on YouTube? Like the Rue dying scene or something like that. Hunger Games Rue dying scene. You can probably fast forward because I think is it he strangles her or something like that or stabs
No,
her.
it's just like very quick.
Yeah, but I want to see Jack Quaid as the bad guy. So she's caught in the net. Okay, we're just commentating on this scene from the Hunger Games. So you can just listen to our commentary. We're not going to show it because of copyright reasons, of course.
There.
Oh, was that him?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, go back. I missed it. Marvel. Oh, yeah, it is him. Okay, he gets shot. He throws the spear. She pulls out her bow and shoots him, and you can see Jack Quaid dying. He's like, I will be back. Let me get my friend. What was
Butcher.
his name? But yeah, Butcher. Butcher will avenge me. Just don't call Homelander, please.
If Butcher was in Hunger Games, that would have been like an hour long series.
It would have been like a half an hour. He would have killed everyone.
In all different ways.
Yep. All right, cool. That'll be the end of our stream. It's almost 11 o'clock.
Yep.
Time to go home.
Join us tomorrow for sure one style of D&D, either Pokemon or anime.
Yep.
And
all right, cool. We're gonna end the stream here.
Yep.
If you're still here, thanks.
And then tomorrow, me and Devin from the D&D is gonna start playing Split Fiction in the afternoon, and I'll be streaming that.